This video we're going to interpret the y equals f of x equals a times b to the x power. That's the exponential function. And we're going to describe and kind of talk about a couple of things that could happen here. Alright, so we know that the y f of x equals y. That's like our answer. Alright, the a is our initial amount. That's like what we start with. So if we have two rabbits, then we have two rabbits. That's the 2 would be where the a is. The b value is what we call the rate of growth. Sometimes we call it like our multiplier. It's like what's happening here. So like we're doubling or we're tripling, or it's 1/4 of it. It's 0.25%. 25%. The t, sometimes they use t, sometimes they use x. They use different variables for this, but this is like our interval, like our time. How much time does each occur, or how many times does it occur? And so that kind of helps us. That's what that creates an exponent, which makes our multiplier do more damage, or that's basically what it does. All right, so let's look at one. Maybe by look at one is I'm going to look at one and see if we can analyze what's going on. All right, so 25 is our initial amount. That's what we're starting with. That's what we started with. Initial amount. All right, if you notice I got 1.04 in here. What this means is that we have the growth formula. Whenever you see this over 1, this means there's a growth here. And the growth is 1 plus the rate. And the rate is usually a percent sign. But we change it to a decimal, so it ends up being a decimal. So when we say 1.04, we really mean that our growth is 0.04, and we're moving it over 2 places, so it's really 4%. So my growth really is 4%. So that's growth. And of course t here is again my time interval or whatever. So if you see anything, if this right here is over 1, it's a growth. And you have to subtract the 1 or get rid of this to find out what my actual percent that it's growing at. So it's growing 4% every month, year, whatever we classify it as. If this number is less than 1, then we've known that they've subtracted 1 from their actual rate. So I got 1, so we're going to look at it. So look at this one. My initial amount, I'm just going to put AI for initial amount, or if you want to really call it, it is your A, is 275. Now again, we have our B, okay, and it's 0.943. Now our B you have to kind of watch this, it's less than 1, so that means they've taken the rate, that's the R, and they took it and subtracted 1 from it. And when they did, they got 0.943. So how do I find out what goes in the box? Well, I can just subtract these two, say 0.0943, and I should get 0.057. If I did that right, then 0.057 is my rate. I move it over 2 places, and it's 5.7%. And that's how so this one was a decay because we're subtracting. Because this is less than 1, it's a decay. That means it's dropping. Like if this was 275 people in a population, it would be dropping. People would be dying, and the population would be declining. It'd be decreasing.